God, how many? I should probably have a few seatbelts.
You'll be fine.
Oh my God. No, don't break the speed limit. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Hello, my name's Roman Bilinski. I'm a Formula 2 driver this year for a team called Dams, and I got into racing about 12 years ago, starting in go-karts, and now we're here in Formula 2.
So what did it take you to become who you are?
A lot of sacrifice, you know, it's not easy, not just mentally, physically, financially, everything, you know, being with friends and family, you have to give up time with them, and you know, there's just so many things that you have to give up to be a racing driver, but also then to compete at the highest level is definitely not easy, but you know, I love every part of it and it's a great challenge.
Is there just a person standing in the middle of the road?
There is a person standing in the middle of the road.
Do we have to have a chat to him? Hi.
Right.
Sorry, can you ask the question again?
No, it's fine.
Too much traffic.
But yeah.
Wow, that's a cute dog.
What's the difference between you off and on track, and what's the moment of transition in between?
On track, I would say I'm very ruthless. You know, I've got my career, which is my everything at the moment.
Yeah.
Off track, I would say I like to have some fun.
Yeah.
But I would also say I'm again quite serious.
Yeah. I think that's a good thing to have a bit of both, though. You know.
Definitely.
Can't just be boring.
Yeah, and
You can't be a party animal, can you?
No, I wouldn't say I'm a party animal. No, definitely not. But you know, I'd say the racing life is always so serious that sometimes it's nice to, you know, relax, chill out and do whatever.
Do you have a set routine, like before you start a race or before you go to a fashion thing, that kind of gets you in a certain mindset for what you're doing that day?
Fashion, not so much, because luckily you can just turn up and there's cameras and wear something and it can be quite interesting.
Yeah.
Racing, yeah, I mean, you have the killer mentality, you know?
Yeah.
You want to beat everyone, you want to do the best you can.
Yeah.
And it's as simple as that. That's exactly what I want to do.
Something that you listen to or like watch or read before you go?
No. I just, you know, I have it clear in my head what my job is to do that race, what I need to do, and I try to execute that and do the best I can do. You know, we have so many different things that we have to do during a race, like managing the tyres and actually racing other drivers while trying to be as quick as possible on track, and there's a million other things going on that you need to be focusing on that.
You can go around the little triangle thing though if you can manage.
Really? That's scary though.
Yeah.
Wait, no, we're never going round that. That was never gonna happen.
If I wanted to become a race car driver, what would I have to do?
You would have to quit everything you're doing, find millions of sponsorship and backing. Unfortunately, it's an extremely expensive sport. Probably also be a bit crazy, because, you know, what kind of person wants to drive around in circles to win a trophy? We're obviously crazy.
Yeah.
And yeah, do the neck training as well.
The neck training.
The neck
I'll get
training.
on the neck training.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I think that'd be fun.
You can start there. Yeah. You can start there, and then we can see.
Okay.
Maybe next time we'll go around the track and then contest. Oh, also you have to be a good. Yeah. You have to be a good driver.
Okay.
You could try driving maybe. With me out of a car, I can watch from outside, so like I'm safe.
Who do you say your idols are?
In motorsport, Lewis Hamilton, I think, you know, has proved himself.
Would you say that Lewis Hamilton's also kind of like a fashion icon?
Yeah, 100%. The stuff he wears coming into the paddock, I think, probably says enough.
Yeah.
I love the sound of this car.
Kind of the hardest thing that you had to overcome?
So much doubt from yourself and other people. You know, I wasn't meant to be driving a car for, you know, ever again. I wasn't meant to be walking again. and suddenly, you know, you're having to overcome all of this. You know, just the belief in yourself. You're seeing everyone driving around the track, scoring all these points and doing something you love and that you need to be doing.
Yeah.
And you're sat at home watching it on the TV, but still believing in yourself and all of these things and not giving up is the most important thing.
When would you say you're the most self-conscious about yourself?
Probably like at these modelling things.
Would you say you're a good model?
No, actually, maybe. I don't know. To be honest, I have no idea. Definitely a better driver.
Okay.
This is my kind of thing. And just go straight and flat and whatever. Don't break the speed limit.
Would you trust me driving this car with you sat here?
I would probably be terrified.
I think it'd be okay.
You want to try? Yeah, I should probably have a few seatbelts.
You'll be fine!
Oh my god.
Wait, hold on. Can you look at the dashboard? Because there's a yellow light.
Yeah, that was on there before, that's fine.
Okay. If I get us stuck in mud, will you get us out? Would you say, because obviously the fashion industry is quite camera orientated and motorsport is a very on-camera thing.
Yeah.
Is that something that you'd say you're drawn to?
Yeah, I guess so, maybe. But
Yeah.
I think part of that's, you know, now being with social media and all of this kind of stuff, it's really important. And if I can make my social media presence bigger, that can only help with my racing.
Yeah.
So, and the fashion. So it goes hand in hand, you know? So I guess yes, but I don't really want to say it like this, so yeah.
How did you get into fashion?
I got into fashion, I was reached out by a manager in the fashion industry.
Wow.
And to be honest, I didn't really think much of it.
Yeah.
And they said, you know, come here, come to this shoot and just see if you enjoy it, see if you like it, and how it is and everything. And to be honest, it was way more insane than what I could imagine. I went to this massive venue that had, you know, suddenly I had hairstylists, makeup artists, all of these things I've never had before.
Yeah.
And, you know, some of your top brands, and my first shoot ended up being on the front cover of Icon magazine, which it never was meant to be, but was pretty insane. And you know, it just all started there, and now it's quite a big thing.
Wow. Would you say that your sense of style was something that you had to learn, or did you just kind of naturally have it?
I would say it's something I definitely had to change. If I look back, you know, probably 5-6 years ago, wearing tracksuit buttons all the time probably wasn't the best look, but I'd say it's evolved quite well over the years. But yeah, it's definitely better now with the fashion as well. It's it needs to be another level, let's say.
Do you think it's kind of influenced, because obviously you look at F1 drivers and there's definitely been, you kind of have more drivers being more fashionable, like Lewis having a very personal style. Is that something that you kind of want to have yourself?
Yeah, I think Lewis is definitely on like an extreme level, let's say.
Yeah.
But again, he is massive also in the fashion industry, so fair play to him as well. Yeah, I would also like to have my own style. It would be quite cool, you know, to collab with some brands and have, I know, something Roman Bilinski. But, you know, we'll see in the future. I'm sure there's a lot of things to do before then. So, yeah.
Who's your biggest rival on the track? Well, who will be your biggest rival this year?
Everyone.
So you don't have one particular person?
No, I don't care who they are. I want to beat them.